What would I do if I had to start all over again today? What steps would I go through to develop myself if I were ever an independent artist, or if I were an independent producer to launch a career from scratch today? Hello everyone, welcome to this video. My name is Tariq. I'm a successful producer, publisher and artist, multiple gold and platinum certified. And today I help artists and independent producers make a living from their music. The first thing I do is find a job, literally. Unfortunately, I still see a lot of artists, independent producers, and young up-and-coming producers who believe that the record industry is the world of carefree bears, who believe that the record industry is a big world where everyone's buddies and where we pass the buck. We pass on plans and then we exchange good addresses, good tips, equipment, plugs, and so on. And in the end, you can be at home, at ease, not earning a dime, and it'll all take care of itself. Unfortunately, that's not the case. You need money. And you need money for something that is the main priority for any music creator today. You need money for equipment. Today, if you don't have at least a PC to work with, or a Mac, a sound card, a microphone, why not a small master keyboard, a sequencer to start making your first tracks? It's very difficult to hope to make a living from your music in the next 2 or 3 years. And obviously all that equipment costs money. And since I don't count on anyone and will only count on myself, what I would do if I had to start all over again, if I had to launch a career today from scratch, is that I would give myself a year to work like crazy. I'll have maybe 2 jobs, 3 jobs even if that's possible. I'll do everything imaginable to earn as much money as possible, as quickly as possible. And I'll cut my costs as much as possible, even if it means eating pasta every day, living with my parents, squatting on a back-busting couch at a friend's house, whatever, but I'll invest everything I earn in professional-grade equipment. I'll buy a Mac, a master keyboard, a good sequencer, I'll get some good VSTs, I'll take out a small subscription to Splice, etc. In short, I'll have everything I need. In short, I'll have everything I need to create music, because we tend to forget that. Just because my channel is one where I give advice on music business and strategy, promotion, development, etc., doesn't mean I forget that our whole core business is based on creating music. Unfortunately, talent isn't everything. Just because you're ultra creative doesn't mean you'll have the best tracks. If you've got VSTs that are shot, that don't sound like anything, you can spend hours and hours fiddling with them, but they'll never sound as good as the guy who's got a top quality, state-of-the-art plugin and is capable of producing a phenomenal sound. Step 1, I'll get myself a job, give myself a period of time by writing a plan on paper, defining all the steps and giving myself a specific period of time to acquire all the equipment I need. Secondly, I'm going to invest in my training, and I'm going to train myself in 2 very important aspects. The first, as far as I'm concerned, because I'm a beat maker, composer, etc., but it can work for any type of artist. The first is Maho. I'll get the information in Maho to save time. Obviously, I could teach myself how to use my sequencer, how to create the types of effects I want to create, how to create all the sequences I want to do, but I'll get there much faster without breaking the bank by investing in training or in different courses. Today, frankly, there's a huge variety of courses available online. From MJ Tutorial, a legendary trainer of sound techniques, to Devenir Beatmaker, to Alex Beat Genius, and I'm sure there are plenty of others I don't even know about yet. Today, there's nothing easier than accessing information. The first thing I'm going to learn is really about music and sound engineering. How do I connect my equipment to get the best sound quality? How do I get my vocals right? How to create an instrument from A to Z? How do I create certain mix effects, etc.? The idea is not to become a professional sound engineer. The idea is to be able to have enough knowledge to do whatever comes into your head without needing to rely on third parties. Because you know as well as I do, when you need to find an arranger, a sound engineer for this treatment or that, it takes plans. If the guy isn't available at the time, you end up waiting 3 weeks before you can get on with your track. That's not a good thing. You need to be independent in that respect, and training gives you that answer. The second thing I'll be learning about is the music business, the record industry. Obviously, some people are going to say, yes, he's saying that because you understand. He's selling a training course and so on. So yes, it's true. I'm not hiding from it. I'm selling training. but you can go and train with anyone. I'm even prepared to send you to the competition. You've got the SAE Institute, which offers excellent training. You have the ATLA School, which offers excellent training. I've seen a new course, I've forgotten the name of the school, but it looks really good. MBA ECG, I think, or something like that. You've got IRMA, which does some excellent training too. In short, you've got plenty of people who can train you in the music business and give you the tips you need. Because if you don't get trained right from the start, you're going to find yourself like all these artists who have incredible talent, who work their asses off creating music, who invest a lot in their musical creation, and that's it. Who start again each time the project is finished, who find themselves in a cycle where things don't move because they make music, they make good music, they make a beautiful video, they release it, it doesn't take, and they start again. At no point do they learn how to sell. At no point do they understand how to create a fan base, how to develop, how to find partners like publishers, labels, distributors, etc. They don't understand how the business works. They don't understand how the record industry works. They don't understand where the money is in this industry. And because they don't have the working capital to keep the money coming in, they burn out, and naturally after a while they stop, and that leaves room for people like me who will have the right information, who will have the right reflexes, the right tools to work with, and who will be able to pick up speed and take the market by storm just when everyone else is starting to let go. So really the second step is to invest in my training, both in music creation and sound techniques, and in music business, marketing and sales. Third step, and here I'm going to start from an assumption, but third step, I start from the assumption that I've worked and that my musical quality is up to scratch. If that's not the case, I'll put in a second step. Work on your sound, progress, look for creative ideas, look for innovation, look for inspiring people, and develop your creativity until you're good enough. But I'm going to assume that you've reached this stage, so the third step is to acquire a fan base. Because when you don't have a fan base, you're nobody. You can be the best artist in the world, but if nobody's there to listen to you or support you, people won't believe in you, and that's normal. That's normal. I'm sure you've all had a friend who's come up to you one day and said, "Wait a minute, I've got the idea of the century, we should do this." And you say, "Yeah, it's not a bad idea, but you're nobody, so what did you do?" You've got a prototype, you've got the beginnings of a business model, you've got something. No, but I've got a good idea. That's good. You've got a good idea. There are people behind you. No, you've got financing. No, your idea is useless. And that's true in itself, but it's also false. It's not that the idea is useless, it's that today, in this day and age, it's the execution that does it all. We're full of good ideas, but good ideas, well executed, are few and far between. Why is that? Because few people are willing to go through the difficult, painful, and thankless phase of building and developing a fan base. Quite simply. Because yes, it hurts the ego to start with 20 fans, then 50, then 100, then 500, then 1,000, then 2,000, then 5,000, then 10,000, and so on. Everyone's looking for the quick fix. Yeah, but you see, if I have radio stations playing me, I'll have 100,000 fans straight away. Yeah, but you see, if I ever get Spotify playlists playing me, I'll have 100,000 direct fans. Yeah, but you see, if I had the contacts or the budget or the right producer or the right thing or the network, everyone has their excuse. In reality, if you worked your ass off, you'd have a fan base that grew by the day. And gaining 3 fans a day for me is already great. From 3, you go to 5 to 10 to 20 to 50 to 100. And in 2 or 3 years, you'll find yourself with a fan base of 100,000 contacts. And then I can guarantee you that everything else will follow on its own. So for me, the third step, once you're well equipped, once you've made good progress in your musical creation, once you've trained yourself in sound techniques, as well as in music marketing and the record industry, your third step is to apply everything you've learned to make regular releases with the sole aim of growing your fan base. Because as your fan base grows, so will your visibility, and everything else will follow. You'll have a professional network that will gradually come to you. You'll have an entourage of artists who will want to gravitate around you, and so on. Everything will fall into place once you have a positive movement in a good fan acquisition strategy. Step number 4, which comes right after that, is to create an offer. Because once you've built up a fan base, if you don't have anything to sell them, you're going to go round in circles. On the other hand, if you start to create an offer and that offer is well presented, well packaged, and responds to a demand, a desire, or a need of your fan base, then I can guarantee you with both hands that you're going to sell and sell very well. Let me give you an example. If you build up a fan base of people who... I'll give you an example. You're a DJ producer and you're going to build up a fan base of DJs who will play your tracks in clubs. At some point when you open Priester booking sales, you're going to find yourself with maybe 500 guys who will receive your proposal. Among those 500, even if you suck at sales, even if you suck on stage, and even if your proposal sucks shit, at least 10 to 30 of them will buy you a date. You're going to make between 10 and 30,000 euros on a single email you send to your fan base. That's how you get rich overnight in the music business. It's not because you suddenly become successful and it works. No, it's because over the years you've worked to develop yourself, to build a solid foundation for your development, and one fine day you're solid enough to launch an offer and have something concrete come in return. The same applies when you have an album to sell. If you have an album to sell and you're talking to 60 people, it's normal that you won't sell any. On the other hand, if you have an album to sell and you address 60,000 people, in the mass, even if you only sell 1%, you're going to make 600 sales. At $10 an album, you're looking at 6,000 euros. Does that cover your production costs? Chances are yes. And even double your production costs if you put in place what we see in the peace training, notably the 5 pillars of making a living from your music. It's all about knowledge, discipline of application, and patience at some point. At some point you just have to be patient. But the fourth step for me is the creation of an offer. And I'd even go so far as to say the creation of several offers, because not everyone in your fan base will be sensitive to the same thing. Some will want to buy a derivative product because that's their thing. Others will want an album, something tangible. Others will be vinyl fans and will only buy if one day you sell a vinyl, collector's edition limited to 100 or 150 copies. Others will only buy concert tickets or intimate encounters with you on listening sessions, in the studio for example, and so on. But the idea is to create an irresistible offer that converts extremely well. And once you've done all that, the fifth step is to optimize at every level. You're going to optimize your musical creation. You're going to optimize your mixes. When I say optimize, I mean improve. You're going to improve the quality of your clips. It's okay to start with clips shot on an iPhone. On the other hand, it's serious to do that for 15 years when you've got money coming in. You always have to have a logic of evolution, of progression, and of going for the best. We're always striving for the best, so there's always room for improvement. You're going to improve your fan acquisition strategy, improve your capture pages, improve your offers, improve your sales pages, improve the way you deliver products, music, and so on. You'll improve your network, you'll optimize your collaborations, you'll improve everything that's going on around you, you'll keep training because that never stops, and little by little you'll realize that year 1, you made 0, you lost a lot of money. Year 2, you finished at 0. Year 3, you barely made enough to eat. Year 4, you hit the jackpot. Year 5, twice as much. Year 6, 4 times as much, and so on. And you're going to become a bankable artist. That's how I'd launch a career, or how I'd build my career from scratch if I had to start all over again today. I hope this video has given you some answers, some motivation, some inspiration. And if it has, there's a way for you to reward my work. Click on the like button below this video and subscribe to the Producteur à Succès channel if you haven't already done so. And if you ever want to take your music industry training a step further, I'm offering a totally free training course. All you have to do is click on the link in the description, sign up and choose the date and time you want to connect live with me. And you'll be able to access an hour and a half of training that will teach you how to send a track to all the major radio, TV, discotheque and playlist decision makers with a tool that all record professionals use and that you'll discover and be able to use as soon as we finish this training course, which I remind you is totally free. You'll find all the info in the description. I wish you all the best for the future. Tear it all up and say ciao.